right, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Opinionated. Your favorite opinionated people are here. I was gonna say favorite three opinions, but that's Daddy's thing and it's weird. So no, let's
Family babies.
go down we're gonna go down that road. But I'm Theo, and I'm here with
Cynthia and
Daddy. Yeah.
okay, before we
wow.
start, it's good to be back, y'all. I know you guys missed me.
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. You
I
know,
did not miss you
gotta
at all.
balance out the daddy.
Right, Ali, sure.
I did not. It's my birthday today, guys. So
Yes,
Happy birthday,
hey,
daddy.
happy
thank
Happy
you,
birthday.
belated birthday.
Stay
thank
awesome,
you.
okay?
Aw, thank you, guys.
I thought you were gonna have like balloons and stuff behind you, cause like birthday mode, But
I'm
like,
broke,
I'm
guys.
Yeah.
like, where's the deco? Where's the birthday deco?
The boy is broke.
How old did you turn?
But it's month end, bro. Your birthday's
Bro,
right at the month end.
responsibilities, responsibilities. I have
Adulting.
bills
Yeah.
to pay, and I'm not answering your question, Cynthia. I am not answering your question. I am old enough for the people who are watching to know that the person who's talking here is of age. I am past 18 and 21.
Right.
Okay?
Um,
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
You're
Well,
legal.
that is at that age where we don't mention ages anymore.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's that. But getting right into today's topics, we've got a couple of topics that we want to talk about today. But first and foremost, this is we're starting off on a really sad note. Like, we're really hype, but we're starting off a really sad note
Mm-hmm.
because we're going to be talking
Yeah.
about the death of Chadwick Boseman, which I think the entire world was just shocked. It's something that we definitely didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had been battling cancer for the past 4 years
Yeah.
is, I think, just makes everything worse. Because I think it's usually sort of better when a person's been sick and they've been
Mm-hmm.
like struggling, and it's kind of like they've passed. You're like, okay, sure, you sort of expected it, but this was like you didn't know anything, and it's just boom, person's gone.
Yeah.
And so his death has brought in a lot of motivation for people, but also a whole host of other stuff, starting with the Malawi scene itself. Because he was a beloved actor, and because of his, I think Black Panther is the biggest one that most people have associated him with, but also most people connected with him on Black Panther. And so a lot of Malawians did post about it, were sad about it, were posting their tributes about it. And then we had some that were auditing grief, we would say, and said that there's always questions like, oh, but did you know him, did he know you, hey, and all of that stuff. Why are you posting all of that like you're posting for show? Now I'd love to know what you guys' takes are on that. Like, a celebrity's death, is it okay for you to post things like that, or is it not? And like, just not focusing on Chadwick himself, but just like celebrity death in general.
Yeah. Cynthia, you wanna go third? You wanna go first? Not bad. You wanna go first? You wanna go first?
Do you need to take a second to like get an English bundle before we continue?
English bad, purchase it
Let's
now.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. First things first, very sad, yes, that we lost Chad. I mean, I woke up Saturday. I'm not really an early bird because I usually sleep late, but I woke up and the moment I got my phone and went to my WhatsApp and looked at, the statuses, all I could see was Chadwick. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh my gosh, no, please don't tell me that he's dead, because usually it's either he's done something big or he's died.
Yeah.
And that's the first thought that came to my mind. Please, I was like, oh my gosh, please don't tell me that he's dead. And I opened one of the statuses, and unfortunately, sadly, that's what it was. And oh my gosh, guys, my heart just sank. Like, no, I thought like I was still dreaming, like, please wake me up. And
Yeah.
to say that, I mean, I had never met Chadwick, and obviously, but you know, I welcomed him into my life through the movies that he did, you know, and the motivational speeches that he did, and just the way he related with people, and just like the activism that he did. So to me, I personally think that it's more than okay, because I went ahead and posted, you know, rest in peace, you know, and I personally think that that's fine. You don't have to personally know somebody to actually grieve them. I mean, we've seen over the past years a number of celebrities that have, you know, that their deaths have shaken the whole world, the likes of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, you know, such kinds of people. And it's the impact that they actually have on someone's life, because growing up, we're told to have role models. And these are some of the role models that we look up to. These are some of the people that help us like work hard in life, because we want to be like them. You know, we want to meet them someday, you know, just at least try to reach to a certain level in our lives, and because they inspire us. So I personally think that no, you don't really have to know somebody on a personal level to grieve them. And yes, the whole world grieved Chadwick because of the great person that he was. And I think that's where the character also comes in, because if you're a person that everybody looks up to, people easily resonate with you and are able to, like, you know, just look up to, then yes, the whole world is going to give you, you know, there's talks of, oh no, give people their flowers while they're still alive. But, you know, most people will only do that because at the end of the day, that person is, you know, is dead. But if you really did welcome that person into your life, no matter what way it was, however way it was, you know, you will still be touched, and you will still have that grief that you will carry. So I personally think that, yeah, you know, you're allowed to feel however you feel. Don't let anybody tell you how you're supposed to feel, you know? You are you, and those are your emotions and your feelings. And if you feel like you need to grieve for somebody, even if you've never met them, go ahead. Who's gonna stop you, you know? That's my opinion.
I mean, I saw it coming, that people are gonna start auditing things, that I went and posted on Facebook. I'm like, we're gonna wait for the Facebook Malawi shareholders to start auditing our money. And the thing is, I woke up exactly like you. My girlfriend actually just sent me a picture and then a couple of messages. And when I saw my phone, I clicked the message and I saw Chadwick's picture. I just knew, because she can't just send me that picture out of nowhere. I just knew, and my heart sank, guys. Because I don't lie to say that I looked up to him or anything, or that Black Panther really like meant something to me. But what I will say is, I think he was very inspiring in the way he conducted himself. You know, besides the movies and everything, he was just a very inspiring figure, you know. And it was like one of those where I didn't expect it to be him. You know, you like, it's with every death, you never see it coming. So you never really expect it to be someone else. But with Chadwick, it was really like him, really, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that he had had cancer for like 4 years and he was battling with it for this whole time, I think for me, it was like, whoa, it's just a testament to who this guy is, you know? Like, he was working even during this entire period of time that he had cancer. I mean, I saw Ryan Coogler's statement yesterday, and he said he wasn't privy to that information. You know, he didn't know that Chadwick had cancer the entire time. Now he knows that the entire time he knew him, this guy was battling this illness. So it just shows you what a superhero he really was in human. And I'm a man of faith. And so when someone like this passes, my heart always sinks, because I don't know what their belief was. I was just really encouraged to see that he was like part of the Porter's house in LA. That's like TD Jakes' church in LA. So the pastor, they even like paid tribute to him. And then Devon Franklin posted some message about how he had inspired Chance the Rapper. They had a conversation about it, and Chance's Christianity and all that stuff. So I was just very encouraged by that, you know. But and everyone keeps posting that he was a man of faith. He was a very private person and all that. And I saw pictures of him in a wheelchair and walking with a cane. Guys, broke my heart. This guy really faced it. But the question was, like, he went through all this and TMZ didn't even post a thing. You know, like,
Bro,
for me,
Like,
that
I
was...
think for me, Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think for me that's like the big thing of like this man had such a great team around him that they kept it
Yeah.
under wraps right until the very last day.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, dude, like this would have been a big story. Like he would have gotten, even money or sponsorship for, cancer stuff and all of that. He
Yeah.
probably would have been even, one of those where they put up posters of him of like, oh no, somebody people look up to and all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
but he didn't, and like he probably didn't want to, and so his team didn't even try. Like nobody leaked a single
Yeah.
thing until like very last day. And for me, that's huge. I'm like, how many artists out there can say they have a team like that around them who will
And
protect
also
them in that way?
to bring the whole Malawian thing around now, I feel like there's someone who posted and it really annoyed me. He says there's a Malawian actor, forgotten his name, but I think it's Nyoni or something. He passed away a couple of weeks ago, and he was like,
Mhm.
Malawians, you guys didn't really give this coverage the same way you're giving Chadwick Boseman's like death like coverage. To me, I'm like, dude, we grew up different. Like you might have grown up watching this actor who just passed. I mean, R.I.P. I didn't really know him. I actually knew of him after he died, and then I realized, oh, he was that guy, because I never really paid attention. But he's going on like, you guys are westernized, but like we grow up different, guys.
Exactly.
Like
Mhm.
Mm.
you, we, I mourned Izegi. Is it Izegi? Yeah, Izegi's
Yeah,
death
yeah.
when he
Yeah.
passed because I grew up watching his stuff. Izegi and
Mm.
Jawa. Like
Mm.
I grew up watching, and when he started that whole, he had a radio program. I used to listen to it with my dad in the car. He was really funny, and I knew him like that. And when he passed, it really hurt, you know.
Mhm.
And so you gravitate to what you obviously are emotionally attached to, and
Yeah.
we are emotionally attached to Chadwick because the Black Panther was a monumental uh, movie. Just a movie that was like a statement in itself during that period of time,
Mhm.
which it kind of still is.
I
And
traveled
And
to
it's like,
Zambia
and I
for Black Panther Day.
you
oh,
just
you're one of them.
No, 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 not the whole come together bus.
Yeah,
Let's go watch
but
a
you
movie.
were
No.
one of the people that
But yes, I was one of the people that traveled to Zambia just to watch Black Panther, guys. Ah,
you see. So it's to me it's like
yeah.
and 24 Siana and
Mhm.
TCN ena maonela Super League ya Malawi, ena maonela Premier
mm,
League, ena maonela zonse. You
Exactly.
know?
Mm.
See what I did
And
there?
and I think that's like a
See
good
what I did there?
wow. Wow, daddy. Plug, sure. But like that's the thing of like I think we need to allow each other to be who we are and
Yeah.
we're exposed to what we're exposed to, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Because even
yeah,
in the whole concept of mourning Chadwick, like I will say Black Panther was not my high movie of Chadwick.
yeah,
I first watched Chadwick's movie, which was 42, the one where he played Jackie Robinson, and that's the movie that got me to like be like, whoa, this dude's like this dude, is something else. And for me, that's been the thing. And I remember that even when like hearing of his passing, that was the first thing that came to my mind of like that particular movie. So it's like that, there's different spaces where people have seen this guy, and I've seen posts of like when he did the commencement speech at HU, and it's something where others, that's their reference point of like he encouraged them during that time and whatever he said in his speech, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's mourn who we mourn. And even like come to when I remember back in the day when Aaliyah died, it didn't do anything to me. It was
mm,
like Aaliyah's passed and that's fine. Even Michael Jackson, even the great Michael Jackson, because I was not a Michael Jackson fan, I was just
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
okay, that's sad, he's gone. But it wasn't like heavy. If we had social media at the time, I wasn't gonna be one of them posting things about Michael Jackson or whatever, because
Yeah.
that's just not, my thing. But when
yeah,
Whitney Houston died, I felt that because I grew up listening to Whitney Houston and all of that. So I think that you make a really good point about like we're exposed to what we're exposed to. So can
yeah,
we let
Yeah.
each other just grieve how we want to grieve, because it's our life. It's it's what's happening. It's how we've been impacted by different things in our lives. But but also I'm just gonna go back to this. Malawian artists, can you get people in your team like Chadwick did? People who are gonna protect you, who are gonna be for you. I'm just saying that's like a big lesson for artists out there. I'm just saying, because you hear people have like managing teams and all of that, and these are the very people that go out and leak these people's stuff. Like they go out somewhere and start talking, I'm gonna what, and it's like, yo, take a lesson, this is like a really big lesson. Loyal people stick by you,
And
keep your
I don't
secrets,
think it's
hold
just
them.
for, I wouldn't say it's just for artists. Malawians in general, like honestly,
Wow.
we have so much
Nah,
time on our
guys,
hands.
don't trash my country. Zanus Venezuela. Do you know? We
I
actually,
fam, I fam.
I'm probably
Your people
Malawian.
have bad
Like,
habits.
they really do. Like, honestly, just like, you actually hear things about yourself and you're like, wait, you're actually talking about me? You know? Like, how is that actually me? Like, because I honestly feel like there's not much to do here in this country, and people have so much time to just like gossip. And if they don't know the full story, they will actually legitimize it and make it sound like an actual thing. And then obviously Malawi is too small. One person onto the next, onto the other, and boom. So yeah,
I
guys,
mean,
we need to do better.
on that Malawian artist tip, I want us to segue into Malawian artists having teams. So there's a Malawian, for those who don't know, there's an artist called, her name is Temwa. She is a singer. She used to be called Spotless. I don't know. But
Yeah.
so she has started. Okay, because I want to be factual when I present this. Yeah, I'm not sure if she's the
Yeah.
one who started, but she is championing an organization called He Matters. And so the thing about this organization is the way it has been presented really shows you that she needs a PR team. But we'll get back to that a little later. So He Matters is basically an NGO, or one of these organizations that are looking into the boy child. So there's been I don't have any like proof or research on this, but hypothetically, is that even the right English to use? Anyway, there seems to be a surge. There seems to be a surge in. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're listening.
Okay. There seems to be a surge in like organizations that help the grow child, and so the way she presented it seems to it's as if the boy child has been neglected, and that the grow child is the only one who has focus. And then because you're neglecting the boy child, then the boy child is basically exposed to getting at the drug abuse and being like a toxic man, toxic masculinity, and all these things, and so she's brought about this organization, and she presented it on Twitter, where the grand announcement was made. And the English that was used was in our attempts to purge forward. First of all, what is purging forward? But
I think that was the wrong word to use.
As ladies on this panel, what are your thoughts on organizations such as He Matters?
Sips water.
Just give me a second.
Well,
you can proceed.
Okay, I'll start us off. I've had a lot of issues because it has been around for like what, 2 weeks now, maybe a week or so.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah,
feels like forever, but yeah, about a week or so. And I think I've had enough time to sort of grapple with it and be like, where do I stand on this whole thing? And I think that I feel like maybe whoever was starting this, whether it is Temwa or someone else, I think they had they were coming from a genuine place. Like they had I want to say the right intentions behind saying he matters, because I will say that I think the way that, you know, to a certain level, that the whole even girl child women empowerment movement has gone in, and even I feel like that's why a lot of people are repulsed by when someone just says I'm a feminist or anything to do with feminism. People are repulsed by it because, you know, to a larger extent it has been looked at as man hate, which it's not, but that's the way it's been looked at, like, oh, we're just hating on the men and everything. And so I think that's a lot of the rhetoric that has shadowed the women empowerment movements, like, you know, that sort of a thing. So I would understand wanting to bring men in, or like wanting to, you know, not to leave men behind, because made the statement, and it could be a couple of years ago, talking about how we're empowering all the women, but we're not doing anything for the men. And so who will stand by these empowered women? Because then we're still leaving men, like we're leaving men in the 1950s and taking women forward. Like, it's an imbalance, and which is true. So I feel like He Matters maybe was starting from a genuine point, but they lost the plot when they said, oh, equality for boy child. I'm like, I'm sorry, are we living in the same world? Because there's such a thing as male privilege, and it's there, and every woman, especially in like, you get into working class, the minute you start your first job, you feel it to the fullest extent of just the level of male privilege that just walks and looms around, that is around you. And so for her to you know, for the whole organization to come out and say, oh, we're fighting for the equality of men, is like, don't know what you're trying to do here. But someone did put out a tweet, and I don't remember who it was, but there was a tweet that said, you know, this would have been better if your organization was about teaching young boys or even men about toxic masculinity and their male privilege, and showing them why it's important for them to stand by their female counterparts, you know? Like, if that was the intention of the organization, I'd have rallied behind that. Like, yeah, sure, He Matters to do this, you know, because let's all get each other to the same playing field, because equality is what we're looking for. But I would have purged forward, but like but at this point I'm just like, I don't understand what you're doing. It feels like a very tone deaf organization, and it's hurting a lot of people, especially in this the climate that we have, where women are being abused left, right, and center, and it's just not okay. So yeah, it's just triggering us. I'm triggered every time I see a post about He Matters. Honestly, I'll just put that out. So yeah.
Oh, I definitely have a lot to say, guys, but I have to hold myself because, you know, I work for an organization that handles such things. But I'm just gonna add on to what Theo has said. You know, they might have been coming from a place of, you know, good intention, but I'm being a person that's, you know, worked in the area and has dealt with both girls and boys, you know, on ground in communities. I don't know what they. How can I put it? I don't know what initiative they took into researching, you know, into this, them to get to a point where they started this organization. But because of all the feedback that it's getting, I really would advise that they go back to the drawing board and just, you know, go.
Do they even have a drawing board?
That is the question.
You know, like just you know, visit these communities, because trust me, guys, there's a lot that goes on. And like Theo said, you know, a lot of the reason why there's a lot of organizations that are all for girl empowerment, you know, women empowerment, is because of the things that are happening in our society. So yeah, great idea, but really?
I mean, I hear you guys, and I think as a guy, when I look at it, growing up, I've had a lot of unlearning to do, because of like the way, I wouldn't want to say the way I was conditioned, because of the way as guys we are made out to be. You know what I'm saying? Like these tough figures who are just like we're made to look as if we are the superior sex or gender to women, and so there's a lot of, as you grow and you realize these things, there's a lot of unlearning that goes on. And with me, I think with things like She Matters, Zima's She Matters, what did He Matters? It my bad.
He matters.
You see, I'm even trying to start an organization now. Anyway, but with things like with things like He Matters, I look at it from the messaging, you know? Like, as you guys have said, it probably is something that is needed because you don't want the girl child to learn all these things, and then you're leaving the boy child in a toxic environment they're in. Even if there's like a patriarchal situation going on, they need to unlearn what is happening, especially in that patriarchal situation. But the way it's being brought out to be as if to nano. Kuliza
Yeah.
feminism zanu zidai, zaz my zanu zidai, if you matter. You know, I mean, there was this there was this situation where Ken Banda, one of the photographers in Malawi, had some really messed up tweets, and Demwa just tweeted He Matters out of like during that situation. And I had interviewed her a couple of days before, so I didn't want to directly tweet because it was everything I had asked her was in the article I wrote. You guys can find it on Zon's Live. But like, I just now go do it. I'm like, dude, read the room. This is not the time to look for a PR opportunity, which is also tone deaf, but like it's not, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we live in a world where Daddy stands a better chance in an office place than Theo and Cynthia. That hasn't changed.
Just facts.
It's facts. And so for you to come to say Daddy is lagging and we should promote Daddy, and we're still, this is coming from a fellow woman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where
That's
people are
what
now
hurts.
confused. People are now like, is she being funded by some guys to push this? You know, which brings me to basically, I'm gonna pause it because we have like less than 10 minutes to go. But like this brings me to our last topic. I sent out a tweet the other day, and this tweet, guys, was not out of any bad intention. Let me just put it out there. First and foremost, it was not out of bad intention, but I put it out because I had a conversation with some friends of mine, and we were talking about how, and these guys are Christian artists, and we're talking about how like most organizations are not gonna pick Christian artists who are even like big in Malawi to push their agenda, but they usually pick artists who somehow are still messy. You know what I'm saying? Like ubezeka kuti artists akupanga push the safe childbirth or safe motherhood, whatever. And this guy has like 6 baby mamas and 2 babies he's not even taking care of. You know, but because he's an artist, they're pushing the agenda. So I posted this tweet, and I actually posted it, I think it was a Sunday night, and like it didn't really get traction. Then I woke up to like a bunch of notifications and like people are making assumptions on who I'm talking about. You know, even like my business partner. Bro, my business partner sent me a message like, yo, bro, this is messy, what's going on? I'm like, no, it's not even like that though, you know? But like, what do you guys think? Like, you, even with the He Matters situation, there was an artist who wore a He Matters shirt, and then people started to come at him. You know, I wasn't even talking about it. I was not. But people thought it was him, and they're now coming at him. But like, it just brings back the question to how should organizations look into such a thing? What do you guys think? Bear in mind, we have like 5 minutes to go. So,
Okay, fire round. Well, I think the issue basically is, you know, kind of like what we were talking about last week about P Diddy coming to Africa and saying, "Oh, I want to work with artists," and we're talking about how sometimes we're just the issue of we're exposed to who we're exposed to, and that maybe these organizations have like it's there's a lot to do with connections. You know, like if you have connections with someone and that someone hooks you in, and usually that's the way people get because you're connected to people in certain ways. And
Yeah.
so because organizations have been connected to those people, that's all they have in their purview. And I would say it's a shame, because I think I would rather have people in those organizations actually go looking for people who might represent their brands or what they're saying better. But unfortunately, it's just like we just settle for what we've got, of like, oh, our next connection is Daddy, and that's it. And it's like, I don't even care what Daddy stands for, who he is and what he's doing. Just like, because Daddy's there, let me just pick him up and let's go. So I think that's kind of where it lies. And I want to fault also the organizations for not doing their homework on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely should do their homework, because examples of, our friends in overseas, like when they actually do something that's contrary to the job that they actually do, it's game over for them.
Yeah.
So organizations and companies really need to sit down and look into the artists or creatives that they want to work with. Is this person in line with what what we stand for and what we're aiming for? If not, there's nothing wrong with using everyday person, like the normal person. I know that artists and creatives and certain people of certain calibers do bring out a certain significance in a certain something, but I honestly feel like if that person does not represent what you stand for, then obviously you're hitting yourself back there, and it'll eventually come back to you and will just ruin things. And so there's nothing wrong with using the ordinary everyday person. That's what I think.
I mean, at the same time, one of my business partners I explained this to him, and he was like, but they do this because they're trying to reach out to the people that these guys associate with. So for instance, if artist X is known for abusing his partner, and then they bring him to push an agenda on gender-based violence or women empowerment, then he will reach out to the people so it was kind of iffy for me, but I mean,
I disagree with that. I think that's a cop-out. I think
it
that's a
is.
cop-out to say you're getting someone who abuses their partner because you want to reach out to the people. No, I think that's an extreme cop-out. Like, why can't you get someone who is setting a better example? Because what the message you're bringing out is stop abusing women. So if you get an abuser, what are you really doing? I feel like that's counterproductive, really.
You're trying to say that they changed.
So
you're trying to say that they have they flipped a new page in their lives, renewed hearts. Anyway, guys, we can go on and on. But at the end of the day, no names were mentioned here. Okay, there were no names that were mentioned.
Don't assume.
Don't assume, guys. Please.
I bet, like we said earlier, trust me, there's gonna be names that are gonna come out from this. But again, we do not say any names. None.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode of Opinionated. You've been with me, Daddy, and the lovely ladies. You guys are actually here today, right? I'm looking at my
You're like down here. Theo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, follow us at opinionated_ZL on Zonse Live, YouTube page, Twitter, everywhere else. And till next time, stay safe, stay black.
Give us your opinions.
Stay beautiful.
Remember to wash your hands.
Yes, and sanitize.
All right, peace,
Bye, guys.
guys.
Peace out.